And thank you for all of you for being here. And thank you, Rajiv, for that introduction and inviting me to present this session and the topic, which is very close to my heart. In our daily life, I think all of you will agree on this point that relationships play a major role, and emotion is one of the very, very important ingredient in keeping our relationship very close and tight and strong. Yes, it is not only a feeling the emotions, it is about understanding, empathizing with them, managing the emotions of us and of everyone around us. So that is how we form a very crucial bond because of the emotions. And I do understand in your daily life, you must be pacifying, consoling so many people in all the ways you can. But let us see today how our responses are. Where do they stand? Are we really uh, um, consoling them or giving the right responses? So, for that, we will start the session by showing a few scenarios and we'll take a poll. Let us see how your responses are and then continue on it. So let me just go ahead and share the screen with you. So this is the first scenario I will be sharing with you. Just have a look at the scenario and I request Raji to just launch a poll for this. Okay, if it is done, let's go to the next one.
Shall I share the results of the poll?
Okay, just let's see. So it's okay. I think all of them was the major thing which got yes. Most of this are the commonly shared consoling statements as fine state. Okay, let's go to the next scenario. I think you have to stop that poll. Then I think I can go on to the next.
Yeah, I have stopped the poll.
I don't.
Maybe you can, I can stop sharing and you can reshare your screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go for a poll for this too. A boy who lost the soccer match. What do you have to tell him?
I'm waiting for a few more responses. Okay, sharing the results now.
Yeah, it's most of you have said better luck next time. Be a sport. Yes, and I think something in the chat too. Raji, I request you to check. I think there is
There is
something.
one comment in the
Did
chat.
your
Yeah.
best, and the whole team will. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next one again. I think. You have to again share.
Sure.
Yes, here too. They have taken all of them. Things will be fine. You will figure it out. Don't stress. Yes. And many of them said yes. All of them, maybe depending on the situation and the person whom we are consoling. Yes.
Yeah, here are the results for everybody to see.
Let's go back. 1 second. If you can stop, Raji, I will just go back again. So we have seen here that most of the time, whatever responses you have seen were um, right or wrong. From my side, all of you, you will say that they were all right. But from my side, I will say they're not okay. It's not okay, or whatever the responses they were there were not okay. Not the one, not only the okay sentence, the other statements too, which were given there were not okay. Why? You may ask why. That is the commonly said statements. That is how we pacify people. It has been always there. Yes, I do agree. But let us see why it is not. Just we'll get back to the boy situation and see why it is not. You have all the responses there have addressed the situation of the boy and not the emotion of the boy. For example, like this is the one scene I'm just taking it. We were all addressing the emotions and not the situation. Do you remember what were the responses there? It be a sport, you can win next time, and all these were the it is okay. These were the responses there, and nothing about his emotion. So, this addressing the emotion of the person is called as emotional validation, processing and acknowledging and accepting another person's inner emotional experience and communicating that acceptance is called as emotional validation, which we will be seeing today a little deep, going into little deep why it is important, how it is important. So let us again get back to the situation of the boy. What could have been a better emotionally validating sentences in that scenario? Do you find the difference between the first sentences and these sentences? Here we are addressing the emotion of the boy who has lost the match. We are not talking about the situation, not telling him anything about his match or be a sport or anything. We are just talking about the emotion here. So let us see why we should be doing this. Why is emotional validation important? It is important because it shows the person that you are listening to him. You're understanding his feelings, what he is going through in that situation. You're taking him seriously. You are caring for his emotions. You understand his emotions. You're understanding what he is going through in that situation. You're accepting his behavior of being disappointed, upset, crying. You're accepting his emotion there. And you're labeling. You're exactly identifying what is his situation in that, what is his emotion in that situation. Many a times this will help the person in that situation to open up. It gives an opportunity for him to express. Many a times this validation, emotional validation, will give him that bond which was close to open up and make new bonds, make new friends, make new relationships, or strengthen the old ones. Oh, these people have understood me very well. They are there for me. They are standing. They are exactly listening what I am saying. They're understanding. Many a times in the family discussions, after such situations, what we have, our children or spouses telling that you don't understand what I am going through. This is not right. What you understood was not right. So many times, because we address the situation and we are not addressing the emotion, so we get these sort of replies telling that this is not the right thing. So let us see how it is. Most of the times, yes, but validation does not mean that you're agreeing in agreement with what the other person is feeling, behaving, or saying. You're just validating his emotion. You are angry in this situation because you lost the match. You are upset because you had this financial problem. So you are identifying, and only to that situation, only at that moment. It does not mean that you are okay with it. And not only that, when you are validating, there is a reason why you have to validate, because physiologically even our body has lot of effect with this emotional validation. All of us know any a emotion is connected with the secretion of hormones and neurotransmitters. When we are little into stress, into such situation, our cortisol just goes up. But emotional validation, when it is done there, our cortisol level comes up and we calm down. All of you must be aware of oxytocin. It is a bonding a hormone, a happy hormone, a love hormone. So it gives us a bond there, so that we are bonding with the people who are given us the emotional validation there. It helps us. There are other hormones, like you have the dopamine, you have the adrenaline, you have serotonin. All these hormones act there, giving us, when you are emotionally validated, gives us a space of safety, that you're cared for. They change your mood, they elevate your confidence, and they not only, you start feeling secure. Oh, I have somebody's back. So you, because you are emotionally being validated there. Even research says, when you are emotionally validated, your self-esteem, your confidence, your positivity towards yourself, everything is elevated. You develop the coping skills to emotionally regulate and process your emotions well. So, emotional validation plays a very crucial part in our well being. So, how? Let us see that, because now we have seen why it is important. Let us dive into how we can validate these emotions. By empathizing, I think all of you agree, whenever he empathize with people, it gives a deeper bond. You move into a very close circuit, where you are understanding exactly what they feel, because you are standing in their shoes. You are not using your own perspective, you are understanding their perspective. So empathizing is very good when you are emotionally validating a person. Listen actively and attentively. Be there for them, 100% non-judgmental. Do not uh, move here and there or use your phones, especially not using your phones. See that you are there and mindful about that situation and being with them absolutely. Acknowledge and label the emotion exactly what they are going through in that situation. Then they will feel that they are being heard, and they know that, oh, you have understood and accepted and acknowledging that what they are going through exactly. Sometimes you can reflect back and ask, I hear you say, or you sound that you are sad because you lost a match, because of this financial problem or anything that makes them, oh, he is hearing, he is paying attention and to my emotion. So that will really uh, for you to confirm and for them to feel content, oh, he has understood. Validate the valid. Here also again, see not the situation, it is the emotion. So only the emotion has to be validated. Offer support. Many a times we can say, you can count on me, or I'm there for you, you can call me, or any such thing can be done, knowing that he is sure that you are there for him. Or you can just say, I'm there to listen to you or help you in any way. So these can really give him some moral support. Follow up. Yes, you have gone into the situation, identified and accepted and have labeled the emotion. But after a few hours, but after a next day or sometime, just follow up. How are you doing about it? That will really help that that person, that it is not only now, oh, they are there for me. That support of emotional support, emotional validation is there. That really gives them a motivation to move ahead. And as human beings, we whenever we go to such situation, we have this urge to find out what happened first. That is the question. Instead of asking, validating their emotion, what we do, what happened, how did it happen, when did it happen, these are the questions that come up immediately. But please stop there. Stop there. Let him emote. If he is sharing, let him share and listen to him. Do not interrupt. Do not at all interrupt. Just keep on listening and just nodding your head and say that you have understood his emotion. Again, sharing our views. When such situation, then we start giving lot of advice, lot of suggestions from our experience, what we have gone through. We start telling the stories. Oh yes, such a situation happened to me. You start stating your views. Keep your perspective to yourself. We are there only to listen to his or her, their perspective, and validate their emotion. No advices, no discussion of how it happened, why it happened, the pros and cons, nothing. Next, respect their boundaries. Yes, some people are very emotionally sensitive, and some people are open. Some people are ready to share what is going through them, what they are going through them, how. But some are very closed. Give them that respect. It is fine. If they want to vent, yes. If they don't want to share with you at that moment, yes. Do not question, do not probe. Next, no problem solving. You are not allowed to problem solve. They did not come to you for asking you for solving their problem. Sometimes it is only if somebody hears what they are going through, it is a big help. It's such a consoling thing. They just want somebody to hear what is going. They did not. Maybe they'll come back to us when they need our help, when they need how to solve their problem. But at the moment, they are not ready for that. Yes, respect that. No problem. No problem. Problem solving techniques need to be shared. And saying this, I would say sometimes many of us will not have uh, words or the right expressions to emotionally validate the person in certain situations. It is okay. All of us are aware of non-verbal communication. As Toastmasters, yes, all of you know how to communicate effectively, whether it is with words or with non-verbally also too. So just being there in that situation, sometimes giving a hug, offering a shoulder, just being there, sitting beside them, holding a hand, just putting your hand across their shoulders, or nodding a head, or eye to eye contact, anything, any such thing also can really help us. Saying this, I would say that emotional validation is all about acknowledging, it is accepting, and how you will go about it, doing it correctly, answering the situation and doing it. It is such a valuable tool. And also, I would say it is a skill. Each one of us can learn it. Only thing here, two things uh, that are needed is you being very intentional and you being very mindful. So that is how the things happen, how it can go ahead. I'm saying intentional because we are all depending on the mm, on the relationships. See, all these relationships are very close, and you have to be very intentional and mindful in dealing them. Sometimes build instead of building, we may break them too. So that is why I insist that you have to be mindful, you have to be very gentle and use the correct statements which can really help people uh, in the right way to validate their emotions. In any relationship, when you are validated and when you are accepted, people know that you are being accepted. Yes, whatever being their behavior, whatever being their outburst during that, but still you are there for them. That itself will help people to bound very well and bring strong trusting relationships, because here you're not questioning them, you are not trying to solve their problems or anything. So this sort of behavior from the people definitely will build a strong, long lasting relationships. As Toastmasters, I would say that you all are always communicating and building lot of long lasting bonds. And emotional validation is also one of an important tool where you can use it easily to communicate even well in your relationships, whether it is professional or in the community or personal, family and friends, etc. So please, um, I hope I was enough clear to make you understand how important emotional validation is to our personal life and to our professional life. I hope all of you will start using it in your life and build strong, long lasting relationships. With this, I hand over it to Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Vijayalakshmi, for that enlightening talk on emotional validation. We would now open up this floor for any questions. And I would also maybe begin asking you a question. How would you say we can easily differentiate emotions from a situation? Because we would be encountered with different situations and scenarios in our daily lives. So, what would you say your tip would be for all of us to keep in mind when we go ahead and have a chat with anybody?
Yes, for this, first of all, I would say is when you are in touch with the emotions you go through in your day to day life, being mindful about your own self first. What we go through ourselves, you can easily empathize and understand the other person. I know in such a situation I will feel sad. In such a situation I will be upset. In such a situation it is going to be like this. So when I see a person in a similar situation, so I will be aware because I am self aware. So I will be aware to identify it in the other person and easily label it. All of us basically we keep using the labels for emotion, but we know the emotions, we don't label them. Actually the problem is we don't label them, we just take it generally. But when you are keen, when you are mindful, I told you, when there is intention, when you are mindful, when you are aware, you will definitely make that effort of labeling them correctly and validating them. I think I answered.
Yes, that answers my question. It
Yeah.
it like everything else, it begins within yourself where you
Yes.
identify your own emotions first and how you would experience these emotions if you were faced with a similar scenario, and then reflecting it back to anybody else who's probably in a similar scenario. Uh, any questions from the audience? Anything that you would like to ask our speaker? Yes, Philip, go ahead.
So many questions.
Of
So
course.
many questions. The
Uh,
the first one, I want to go all the way. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to start at the beginning or start at the end, but I do kind of want to make a joke because I'm in engaging humor path right now, and I'm shocked that I can't solve the problem. I've actually known for decades that I can't solve the problem. And I don't know that solving the problem is just a man's issue. I think it oftentimes it seems that most of us, whether we're male or female, whether we're in the majority or in the minority, it's very hard for us, I think, to get away from framing the problem that the person's having and not clicking over immediately to what we would think is a solution. And you guys can all tell me, thank you. I saw a nodding head there. I appreciate that. I just wonder if there's uh, any idea, any protocol for trying to get around that knee-jerk reaction of here, I can solve your problem. And you know, I expect you've dealt with this issue before, and would be very interested in in hearing your response to that. Well, how can we stop ourselves from immediately trying to solve the problem?
Yeah. Start with emotional validation, not be a problem solver. How do we do that?
okay, that's a good question. Thank you for that question. Yes, as you are saying, our as humans we have that. Especially, I feel it comes with our moral lessons what we have learnt in the childhood, that our mothers and the teachers saying help others. So it starts right from there, that hardwired into us, that whenever somebody says I'm in problem, so we need to jump into it. But as I again, I would repeat that being very mindful, Do I really need to give that problem solving solution? Is especially we should, and not only in a situation like this, even in our day to day relationships around us, we should start holding ourselves back till we are asked for an advice. We don't do that immediately. Yes, even as a psychologist, sometimes, yes, when I am on wearing a mother's hat, when my children come with a problem, I immediately jump there, giving them a solution. Yes, it happens because I am a human too. But yes, immediately when I think, take that fraction of a second, I say no, the person is only venting his or her problem. Let me listen first, completely, mindfully, being there 100%, giving my 100% without any distraction, not interrupting that person to vent. As I told you, yes, some people just want to vent. I vouch on it. I have clients who come pay me and say, we just want to vent. Because they say we want a neutral person, we want somebody to hear who does not give us any problem solving technique or any do like this, do like, we don't want any advice, we don't want any suggestion, you just listen to me. I had several clients like that. So being mindful, do I need to step in there and give an advice, or is he expecting me to listen? Just when you're mindful, you can differentiate. Yes, I hope I answered your question.
You did. Thank you very much. And you reminded me of probably the most profound consideration I've had 4 years as a Toastmaster, and that is the listening aspect. So oftentimes, and I can't, I mean, it happens daily. I can't tell you how often it happens daily that I'm speaking and I can tell that the person I'm speaking to is just waiting for me to take a breath so that they can interject immediately with the thoughts that are going on in their mind. And
Yes,
I've done it my whole life. And now, more than anything else, I want to stop. I want to slow down. I want to listen to the entirety of what the person has to say, wait for them to ask either my opinion or what do I have to think about that before I speak. That is extremely difficult, but it's extremely worthwhile. So it reminds me of the answer that you just gave. Thank you.
yes. And I would like to share a small secret here. Like, um, before I became a psychologist, I was a mother. As I'm telling you, I was a mother who was always jumping there to give my advice and give my suggestion. As you are saying, not just waiting for them to stop so that I give them the suggestion, solve their problem. But thanks to my younger daughter, she said, Mama, wait, stop. I'm not asking for advice. I'm just venting. Please listen. So she made that differentiation that I hear to her and stop there. And she said, no, I'll come back. When I need advice, I'm coming back to you. So that has really made me sit back and think, yes, oh, I need to think. That has really helped me in my profession too. When I started as a psychologist, I was also, oh, this client has come with this problem. Okay. But thanks to her, I started sitting back and listening. Okay, let him think. So after he finished his narration of his venting, then I said, okay, what shall we do now? So that is how I have learned, and being mindful again, being mindful. Okay, I have to stop myself here, draw that line here. So that is how each one of us, I would say, being intentional and mindful is a very good technique in any of the fields, that whatever you are doing with the human relationships.
With the soccer player, one of the responses was, it's only a match. And so you're you're telling him that it's only imagine making it like it's small event, and to him it might be a huge event. So what should we say instead and to soften that?
So, first of all, we are addressing his emotion. He is disappointed. So, that is what we have to deal. It is not about the match. Yes, he is disappointed because of the match. But first, we have to address the disappointment and bring him out, and he will solve how he has to face the match next time. Saying I'm with him, I'm with you. Or can I be of any help to you? Things like that are addressing his emotion, not the game. So, first, if we can address the emotion, definitely he will find a way to solve his situation.
Okay. I was the
Any
only one I seem to not pick all of the above. Most of the questions it seem to be all the above.
Yes. They were put purposely in that way.
they were actually all trick questions.
And then we would all just like throw everything at the problem and hope that it got fixed.
Yeah, they are the commonest responses we give. So that's how they are all there.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to share this topic also with everybody in the district is it's such a um, non-attentive topic. You never pay attention. You're like, hey, I was there for that person. I said it was okay, but still the person didn't feel comforted, and you're often left wondering why. And when this concept was introduced by Vijay, I was wondering, oh, that is why nobody feels comforted when you say, hey, it's okay. There's always a next time. You'll feel better. Don't stress. They don't really do anything. Philip, you had a question.
Do you, Vijaya, do you ever catch anyone challenging you, or do you think it's common that people get challenged when they try to understand? And I'm highlighting that word, understand. For example, a depressed, anxious friend of mine. I'm not depressed and anxious. I've never been depressed and anxious. Perhaps depression and anxiety is in my future, but I literally don't understand. So I wonder, and I've been actually caught then by people who are in a depressed mood. And for me to put my arm around them and say, I understand, is a bit of a slight, a bit of a sort of a misconsideration of their situation. They know that I'm not going to understand that. Is there anything other than understanding that we can offer under that circumstance? That you try to, near the end of your presentation, consider their emotions, consider that they're comprehensible. And for some of us, I mean, an oddly extreme example would be the soccer player. Uh, that soccer player's father or mother never lost a match. I don't know what lose. I mean, the other team always lost. I never had to consider it. What do I do with my son or daughter? They just lost a soccer match. I never lost a soccer match. I mean, that's an extreme example, probably one that we'd never find in nature, but it still begs that question. How can we understand something that we actually haven't been through? And is the person that we're trying to be there for going to almost resent even our involvement in it? Do you see?
Yes, this challenging or this problem comes when the emotion is not labeled correctly. Because, yes, your friend has gone through depression, gone through several other problems which you haven't. Maybe he feels you are having a very happy life. But you sit beside him and say, I understand. And immediately he says, You don't understand. Because he feels you're living a happy life and you do not know what his situation is, what is that? Definitely he will challenge you and say that you are just giving out words and you're not feeling for him. You are not exactly understanding. So in such a time when you just want to be with him, you are genuine. I'm not saying you are not genuine. Genuinely wanted to help him, but at that time not use the word understand. I hear you say that you are feeling low these days, going through this problem. Because of that problem, you are feeling sad, you are feeling low, or something like that. Will be very subtly dealing with that problem. Then directly, like understanding is a very, very heavy word, because each one of us, if we go through the same depression, each one of us are unique and our symptoms are unique, and what you go through is also different. So you cannot say that maybe you are also depressed, he is also depressed, but both of you have a different scenarios, different understanding of your depression, different situations, different reasons. So you cannot say I understand. No, nobody can 100%. You can only empathize. You can stand in their shoes and say, yes, I empathize. I hear you say it sounds that because you are like that, you are going through this, but not say, I understand. We can't understand. That's why they challenge and they say, no, you can't understand. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think Anna is seconding it in the comments as well, saying this is commonly experienced with children and parents, where children often feel that the parents can't
Yes,
understand what's going
yes.
on with them.
For example, the soccer player, maybe his parents did not play the soccer at all. So for them, it is a game. So the boy will, when the parents say, oh, I understand, no, because they did not play the game. So they did not lose any game. So how will they understand? What goes into it? Like how much hard work goes into it? What goes into it? Only the boy who has undergone all the strenuous hard work can understand much, much better than his parents. So when the parent or elder or coach, anybody says that his friend says, I understand, no, they don't. They have seen him only from outside. He has done it from inside. So nobody can understand what goes inside unless whatever you say. So the word, again, I'm saying word understand is a very, very heavy term to use.
Yeah, maybe we should use it sparingly as well.
Yes.
And Anna, did you have a question?
No, I think I was just trying to relate to Philip, where somebody sometimes just they don't want they don't even want your input. They just want to bend your ear. Right? They just want to tell you, get everything off their chest. And sometimes the best thing for you to do is to just kind of be quiet and listen. And that helps them by them verbalizing what it is that they're going through, helps them to categorize things, and maybe they can work through some of the stuff on their own. I mean, you're there to listen, you're facilitating some of that, right? But I often find myself sometimes it's like, did you want to hear my thoughts on what you just shared? And then if they want some of my feedback, then I'll share it. But I find that sometimes when somebody's in this type of situation, they're carrying, for lack of a better word, they're carrying sort of a victim mentality. And it takes a lot of resilience to kind of get beyond that for them. But, until there's not much you can do to change it. They are going to want to have to change it. So you just kind of echo back to them. You're their good friend, and you just echo back to them. You complained about this 6 months ago. You're complaining about it 3 months ago. You complained it again. You're complaining about it again today. What do you want to do, right? And let them answer their own thing. Like, did you want to continue this pattern, or would you like to see something different? If you had a magic wand, and sort of invoking them to see what they can control and change. And if they continue with the victim mentality, then there's really not much you can do, I think, Philip, right? It's their, you can just continue to be a friend, and at some point they'll probably outwear their welcome if they don't come around to doing something more positive.
Maybe just tell them that I'm here for you, I'm ready to hear, or how can I help you? Any such statements too can work. Can I be of any help to you?
And then probably you would make them even more upset because you're telling them they've been complaining about this for 6 months, now 3 months, now, and they're like, ah.
It could be. I think it could be, but sometimes they need a reality check, and you've been there listening, and then you're basically telling them a fact. If you don't say it in a complaining way, you don't say, "Oh, I'm so sick of hearing this. You've been complaining about the same thing for 6 months." You just say, "Oh, I heard you say this 6 months ago when we met, and then you have the same issue 3 months ago when we met, and now you're complaining about it again. What do you want to do?" Right? And you just kind of put the ball back in their court, because it requires them to kind of come up with a little bit of innovative thinking on how to solve the problem. Even with the soccer player, you know, what do you want to do? You guys are a team. Do you need to you want to talk to your coach about how to win, how to strategize? And you have to tell them that there's things that they have in their purview to make an impact, right? You have power to make an impact some way, whether you're on a team or by yourself, fighting depression. You have a way to make it. So once you tell them it's okay to change things, and let them start to innovate, because obviously their thinking that got them into the situation isn't the same thinking that's going to get them out of it.
Yeah, but here I would say, not in the situation when they come to you to complain. You need not give them back. Yes, give them that space to think and evaluate, emotionally validate with what emotion they're going through now. Through, yes, that person would have come with the same emotion 3 months, 8 months, whatever. You first make him sit and emotionally validate that, and just ask him how he is going through that, how he is managing. And then if he asks, many a times, again I'm saying, if they are interested, any interference from you, because some people, as Anna has rightly said, have that victim mentality. They want to be in that situation forever, and whenever they meet, they say, yes, we are going through this situation. So if you tell them something, as I think Philip has said, that I understand and you were going through, they will challenge you and they will be upset, and there are chances that you may lose that relationship too. She's not understanding me, so that is why I don't need to tell her. So here we are using emotional validation to build our relations, to strengthen our relationships. So here I would, as a psychologist, say that you have to, like, same friend is coming to you back again, listen to them patiently, give them that time and space. Oh, I hear you say that. Oh, you're still going through that. Yes, can I help you in any way? Oh, I'm here to hear anytime. Offer them support. How can I help you? Can it be of any help? Or should we consult a psychologist or something like that, which she may appreciate? Not say, yes, why are you still going on from 6 months to 3 months to now you are in the same problem? No. That can be offending and a challenge to the relationship.
I know it sounds harsh. And I don't mean to say it like that.
Yes.
Like, I'm saying you're just kind of presenting facts back to them, right? You're not judging what they're
reflect back.
saying.
I'm not saying yes.
Yeah.
As I said, yes, reflecting back is what I heard from you. that this was, is that still going on,
Mhm.
or anything else is troubling you now? Or if she's saying, oh, I remember you saying that, oh, still that problem. So how do we try to do it? So be more collaborative and help them in a helping tone and helping way.
Mhm.
But first, foremost is you have to emotionally validate them. Yes, it is fine. Maybe you are suffering from 6 months. It is, oh, that validation has to be there. That will give them, oh, she remembers and she understands that I'm going through that problem from 6 months. Oh, she is the real friend. She is remembering with all her life problems, all her life, whatever, she remembers my problem too. So there the bond will be become more strong.
And the other thing too, Philip, that I've done with a friend who unfortunately went through a divorce and was very depressed the last 5 years since it happened because she feels like a failure, is I took her on vacation. So sometimes a change of scenery might help. You can suggest that, or if you have the means to do it, just take them on vacation.
Well,
So
that is
maybe
that's a great example, Anna, of this whole offering of support
Hmm.
that our presenter gave us earlier. And that's again a very generous way to offer your support. I like to offer my support, and I wonder if any of us have a story about how when that offer of support went sideways and you found yourself doing something you never imagined.
Oh yeah, no good deed goes unpunished.
There you go. There you go. So just, yeah, so
I have a friend who was just in a car accident, and I collected donations so that she can her, because it wasn't just her. Unfortunately, they T-boned the whole family. So her son and her husband and her are recuperating. I got hit on her side, so she took the brunt of the injury. But even her son and her husband are have a few broken things. Anyway, I collected $600 and I tried to send a DoorDash gift certificate, and the bank thinks that buying gift certificates is like fraud or something, so they freezed my thing. I couldn't buy lunch. They didn't let the gift certificate go. No good deed goes unpunished. So yes, I know what you mean.
that's quite a story that we were not expecting.
I was
And
like, I just want to help her, get some food in the house.
here's another one to watch out for. I see we're running out of time, but that's a good one, Anna. I might have to try to trump you though. I had a call from a client and I told him, months ago, hey, if you need help, just let me know. Well, he called me and the first question was, have you been drinking? I answered honestly, no. And I was immediately brought in as a driver to the emergency room, an emergency room he did not know how to get to, an emergency room that he did not know what was going to happen once he got there. And as it turned out, he was there for 2 days. And thank goodness I left after probably just 2 hours there, because I might have been there. We got there at 5 in the afternoon. I might have been there till midnight till I realized he was going to get thrown into a bed. I mean, it is crazy. One of the things I try to do though is when I offer my support, I really, really, really try to stick with it, but it can be tough.
no, that's always true. This takes a lot of effort from the one providing support as well. And like it took effort for all of you to be here on a Monday evening. I thank you all so much for your time. And special thanks to our speaker for presenting and answering a lot of our questions. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can pass on your questions to the speaker as well. I have put up a feedback form in the chat. I would request all of you to please fill it out. It helps us get better as a district and keep organizing more sessions with topics of your interest. With that, the session is done. I'll stop recording. We can still hang out if you have more questions.